Today we're checking out a BMW Classic. This is the type of car you own but don't drive, because every time you drive it, someone will try to buy it or someone just expropriate it without compensation if on a bad. This limited German machine was launched back in 2011 and only about 6,309 units were produced. Initially only 71 units were allocated to South Africa, but that number later increased due to high demand. And as far as I know, SA received a total of about 100 units of this Junior M car. I always say BMWs age like avocados, but the BMW 1M is holding its value really well. To put things into perspective, this car was launched more than 10 years ago and the launch price was plus minus 540,000 rands, and in 2022 the cheapest used 1M cost around 750,000 rands. I saw one going for around 970,000 rands and the most expensive one was around 1.1 million rands. You see here, I'd rather just buy a BMW M340i. So yeah, in today's episode of a car we can't afford and probably don't need, we're checking out the legendary BMW 1M Coupe. Welcome to another video. This gem is so rare. The last time I checked, only about 4 units were up for sale in the used car market. Only 4. Let that sink in. This model is over 10 years old, but it still looks super clean. It is more appealing than the new Tupperware BMW M2 in my opinion, but then again, looks are subjective. The BMW 1M is a beefed up version of the BMW 135i E82. The cars look almost completely identical. The only difference is that the 1M gets a beefier body kit and of course the performance. In front we have an aggressive looking bumper and the flat wheel arches make the car look wider than it actually is. This thing looks super nice without the front number plate. I don't condone corruption, but me now I would keep it like this and just drive around with cool drink. Since we all agree that this front end looks better than that of the new M2, let's move on to the side profile. And by the way, since the 1M is not a true M car, I think its perfect pickup rider is the BMW M240i, and we'll touch on that a bit later. On the side we have some 19-inch wheels, flat wheel arches and some frameless windows. This car was launched in 2011, but it puts a lot of modern cars to shame in terms of both looks and performance. The new Toyota GR86 costs around 700,000 rands and it is the most uninspiring performance car in SA at the moment. 700,000 rands for an extremely impractical 174 kilowatts, 250 Newton meters of torque coupe. You can miss me with those vibes. 0 to 100 in 6.7 seconds. That thing is as fast or as slow as a Polo GTI. I'm not saying the 1M and the GR86 are direct rivals, but if I had 700,000 rands to flush down the drain, I'd take a high mileage 1M over the 86 any day, but that's a topic for another day. The 1M is just nice from every angle. Here at the back we have some real quad exhaust tips. The car original comes like this, by the way. This is not some aftermarket stunts gang sit down pipes type of vibe. The boot space is 370 liters and it looks decent to me, but as Pumela because no one buys a performance car for boot space. Cars used to be like this before they turned them into cinemas and simulator gaming stations. Look at how clean this setup is. Some Alcantara on the dash, orange stitching, no unnecessary big screens and touch sensitive keys. A car that looks like a car. BMW tried chopping manual cars, but it seems like they are coming back, as we have seen with the recently launched BMW M2. Abanye, they are now making 2-liter 4-cylinder AMGs. Yatim sure I pale on this planet. Me, I'm moving to Mars. This is a 2-door coupe, so if you buy it, you know exactly what you are signing up for. If you buy a 2-door coupe and complain about practicality, you either have to check yourself in at a rehab or somewhere just go to Vescopis. Performance-wise, this car is powered by a 3-liter 6-cylinder twin-turbo engine mated to a 6-speed manual transmission, and the power is sent to the rear wheels. The power output is 250 kilowatts and 450 Newton meters of torque. With the overboost function, you get an extra 50 Newton meters, and that takes the maximum torque to 500 Newton meters. These are crazy numbers for such a small body. This beast will do 0 to 100 in under 5 seconds, 4.9 seconds to be more precise. Top speed is 250 km per hour. The BMW 135i has a 3-litre 6-cylinder single-turbo engine, and its power output is capped at 225 kilowatts and 400 Newton meters of torque. That's 25 kilowatts and 50 Newton meters of torque less compared to its bigger brother, the 1M. The performance figures of the BMW 1M are more or less comparable to the current generation junior M car, the M240i. With the M240i you get 285 kilowatts and 500 Newton meters of torque with a claimed 0 to 100 sprint of only 4.3 seconds. The top speed is the same. We can also bring the old generation M2 in the equation, the normal one, not M2 competition. The power output of the M2 is just 272 kilowatts and 465 Newton meters of torque. Compare that to the 250 kilowatts and 450 Newton meters of torque of the BMW 1M, and you will realize that this thing is a beast. In terms of cost of ownership, this car is just a toy, and the only way to buy it is to pay for it cash. If you can't pay for it cash, don't buy it. I know some will say, yeah, but this car is rare and it's appreciating in value, so I can so much just finance it, flip it and make some money. Well, good luck with that. You'll be shocked the day you try to sell your car and only get an offer of 400,000 rands, while when you paid 700,000 rands for the car, but asiko lapho. When it comes to insurance, this is a rare, highly sought after performance car, and that makes the 1M a high risk car. If you're under the age of 25, you can easily spend more than 5,000 rands on insurance for this vehicle. Drivers under the age of 25 are generally considered high risk. Then insurance companies will also tell you about the power to weight ratio of your car, rate of acceleration and whatnot. Apparently a car with a small body and a big engine is a problem. That's almost as bad as doing aftermarket performance modifications. That's why some insurers don't cover cars with tuned engines. I learned this when I was looking for insurance for the Lemon, or maybe Budget Insurance was trying to scam me. They told me a Polo GTI has a small body and a big 2-litre engine, therefore it is considered a high performance car due to its power to weight ratio, rate of acceleration or whatever. So they won't cover it if it's driven by a person under the age of 25. I know someone from Budget Insurance or My Way is watching this. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If you buy a BMW 1M and expect it to be fuel efficient, first copies. The claimed average fuel consumption is 9.6 liters per 100 kilometers, but I can tell you now, here you will be averaging Chinese figures. A full tank will cost you around 1,300 at the current fuel prices. This is not a type of car you drive daily to work, so you'll be fine with 1 tank a month. So for this car you are only going to pay for petrol and insurance, no monthly installments, because you are going to buy it cash. If you can't afford to buy it cash, don't buy it. It's that simple. I saw a tweet about earning 20,000 rands per month and spending 15,000 rands on a Golf 7.5 GTI. That leaves you with just 5,000 rands. For a moment I was like, what the hell? But then I thought, if government thinks people can survive with a 350 grand, 5,000 is greater than 350. And all you need is 350 to survive. Go buy that GTI in China, you won't die. Futhi in December nyalutodla mangozi. Now I must stop being a chicken and just buy my dream car once. Look ngidokubona phambili. But then again emhlabeni kunebantu labanganamali nebantu labanganamali yokudlala. I'm in the second group ke mina anginamali yokudlala. Shout out to the owner of this car for offering his car and making this review possible. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more car content in a Mzansi context.